From the Landis Big Show studios, Landis Health now offers comprehensive, affordable health coverage for farmers and others through a nationwide network, including no-cost preventative care. Enrollment is open now for everyone at landishealth.ag.
11:35 on a Big Show clock. Bob Quinn of the Big Show today, being brought to you by the Agriculture Water Alliance. Clean water in Iowa starts here. Heard us talking a little bit yesterday with the gang there, talking about some clean water projects and some clean water partnerships. We like to talk about clean water every day here on the Big Show, but we kind of focused in on it on Wednesday, Clean Water Wednesdays. Again, Iowa Agriculture Water Alliance, and it doesn't matter where you are, wherever you're at, clean water in Iowa starts with you. Well, let's take a look at the marketplace. Brian Hoops with us, Midwest Market Solutions. Brian, we got a little more time to talk a little bit about a USDA report that came out. Market has been moving lower. It was moving lower today, I should say anyway. So kind of relive the WASDE report and translate into it what's going on in the marketplace.
Well, yeah, thanks for having me on again, Bob. We saw that report come out, and, you know, we had rallied going into the report, which is kind of muting some of the bullishness after the report was released. We did have a pretty decent close, I think 7 cents or so higher. And then we rallied again yesterday morning, and that rally kind of fizzled by late in the day. There was some farmer movement of some cash grain, which is what the market's been trying to get the farmer to do, part with that grain through a combination of higher futures prices, tight basis, and it accomplished that goal. And by the close yesterday, it wasn't a particularly very strong technical close, where we closed right on the lows and it looked kind of bearish on the charts. Well, the bad news is our exports this morning were not real strong. Corn sales were 11-week low, soybean sales a market-year low, wheat sales an 11-week low, meal sales an 8-week low, and that has led to some pressure against the grains this morning. And follow-through selling and some technical selling easily took out the lows in wheat and corn, pushing these markets lower on some profit taking as well. So maybe got a little overdone in these grains. Soybeans, interesting enough, are the one market that has not taken out yesterday's lows and are still kind of near the top end of their trading range and just haven't taken out yesterday's lows, and that has led to very limited selling against soybeans. We've heard some forecasters try and talk that Argentina weather is getting dry, at least into the end of December, parts of Argentina. And if that's the case, watch soybean meal. That's what we've been telling clients, is soybean meal will be a market that will react to dryness in Argentina faster than any other market. If that market reverses course, starts to rally, soybeans will no doubt follow along with it. But we have meal down another $3 here this morning, so it's not really taking stock in those forecasts. We did talk after the report the other day that we're going to be kind of in a bidding war for corn acres this spring, and we should have some opportunities, I think, to sell corn at higher price levels, which will be very important because I do expect that we will plant quite a bit more acres in 25 than what we did in 24 for the corn market.
Yeah, what are you thinking, 95 million acres?
I think that's a reasonable assumption right now. We planted a little over 90 million this year, so we should see 4 to 5 million more acres planted. And then it kind of gets down to incentives. There's a corn market rally to try and secure those acres in March and early April. What's November bean values going to be by that time because of South American production? How much product do we have, and have a lot of these purchases been canceled? We could see much lower November bean prices by that time frame. And if that's the case, we may plant more than 5 million corn acres. We could go challenge the record that we put in 2012. That was 97.2 million that year. That's always a possibility. We could swing that many acres in 1 year and plant a near record amount.
Brian, it seems like we are seeing the export market starting to focus its attention more and more on South America. I mean, what is not being booked now from the U.S., number one, is that being booked with South American beans or corn, or do we know that yet? And number two, once the market shifts away from the U.S., it's going to be tough to see, grain values rise here.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's going to be a struggle. A lot of these, we tell clients, consider these purchases that countries are making. Like this morning, 334,000 metric tons of beans sold to an unknown destination. Well, likely that's going to end up being changed to China at some point. But consider this a hedge against South American production. They're in this key growing time frame from now through mid-January. This is kind of like the June, July time frame for the U.S. when we're really trying to, we want to see good growing conditions and have good yields. If they have good yields, good growing conditions, these purchases at these price levels, if soybeans are closer to $9 than $10 by the time January comes around, we could see a lot of these purchases canceled, and then they'll repurchase from South America at lower prices. So these are really nothing more than hedges. They're not accepting deliveries at this time. They are taking product that they had purchased earlier, but there's a several months delay from the time that the purchases are made to when it's shipped out and when it's received in China. So they have a window here, kind of like buying call options, where they are looking at the market, hedging their bets. They're buying, securing product here from the U.S. They will cancel it in a couple months if there's cheaper product available from South America. And
apparently with not much consequence for canceling.
At this point in time, there is not much consequence. Yeah, unfortunately. And, maybe a new administration who's talking about tariffs will also enact something else a little more aggressive on cancellation policy. So that would be something we would like to see, in the agricultural and farming community anyway.
Yeah, there's an interesting note. We're going to write that one down and talk about that. Hey, we're going to take about an hour and 10-minute break with you here, and we will then talk maybe about some targets coming up. But, Brian, in the meantime, how can folks get a hold of you?
You can call me directly, talk about the markets and anything else at 417-501-5132. You can also go online to MidwestMarketSolutions.com and see a list of our offices around the Midwest, see if they can help you out more locally than what I am.